Warning. What you are about to see and hear is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed on the show are our opinions and do not reflect the views of BTW21 or its staff. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel and Chad.
God is looking for someone real. People are looking for something real. Just be real. Welcome to the Be Real, the podcast. We're your hosts, Daniel Lewis, Brother Chad Hudson.
Hello.
We also got Peckerhead over here, Gilbert. Oh, we got Peckerhead the chicken and Peckerhead the Gilbert right here in front of us. No, this is John Skidbilly Gilbert. John Galen.
Skidbilly?
John Galen Squidbilly Gilbert.
All right,
We think
Galen.
All right, early.
Galen. We all call him Galen.
Yeah, I go by Galen. My grandpa was John.
That's cool, man. So you're
So where
are you
did
like
Galen
the second
come-
or third, or
No seconds, thirds. I was just first
John?
name,
First John.
and I have a cousin. His name is John.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah.
So, one of them is actually, now that Grandpa has passed, he's John Plasters.
Okay, cool. Well, you've been out here before with us, but you're Mr. Patrick County. I consider you the mayor of Patrick County. I do, personally. I do. You supply a lot of the news in Patrick County. You supply me with a lot of, information that I can investigate. We can't share everything, but you really look out, and you have for a long time. Not only with that, I mean, anybody can look up information, but you've dedicated your life to Jeb Stuart Rescue Squad. You was one of the founding members, correct?
Yes.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. And also Patrick Springs Volunteer Fire Department,
Yes.
lifetime member.
And he was driving school bus while he was still in school.
That's right. You could do that back then.
And you was the first baby born at Patrick County Memorial Hospital, RJR.
R.J. Reynolds. Patrick
R.J.
County.
Reynolds, 61?
Yes,
62?
getting ready to be 62 if it was still in operation. At least they did get rid of the cow field.
Right, thank God for that.
And I have a scale that might have had your naked ass on it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You need me to come sign it for you?
Probably.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, really, it was one of the it was the first scale.
I won it in auction back when the Eagles Club up there in Stuart had a fundraiser for Lauren Worley.
Lauren Worley,
Yeah. And it was brought to Allenham as the first scale that was in the hospital there, and I purchased it.
Yeah,
so
quite a
it's
bit of
sitting
money.
there.
Your naked ass
I've
has been in it,
I've been there then.
but never again.
You have to sign that.
Yeah, just the first time, just the first time when you were 12 pounds. Not,
I don't
not
think
now.
I don't think that my butt will fit in that thing now.
It's an old scale. You got to move the weight. You got to do.
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
It's a mechanical thing.
I try to move the weight too, but sometimes the weight keeps toting me this way or this way, and I fall over like a tree.
So it's great to have you back out here again. I guess we're going to talk about, we're a couple of Patrick County boys, as you know, and you are too, and doing the podcast in Henry County, Martinsville. And we don't get to cover a lot of, interesting topics that you see on Facebook and all these other social media posts about Patrick County.
Yep.
So we're kind of here to be an outlet. Oh, kind of. We'll just interview you to where, we can talk about topics that's going on in our county. And there is a ton of freaking topics going on in our county.
Oh, good ones and bad ones.
Yeah, good ones and bad ones, unfortunately. We've had a lot over the last year or two. Well, we've always had them, but over the last year or two, we've had a county administrator that all of a sudden got shut out, and then we got another county administrator from Rocky Mount. Then, we've been dealing with this hospital situation since 2017. when Pioneer shut its doors, and then we got
Yeah.
some bullshit going on with that. And then solar farms.
That's gone.
Thank the Lord for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
The companies withdrew.
I really wasn't. I wasn't into that, man. I looked into.
Well, what is that? What stopped that? Do you know? Or?
I think some of it was probably the opposition to it, but some of it was, I think, the farm. The farm,
interjects.
The farm they was going to do over in the Woodwine area, they had to destroy a lot of forest, and
Really?
that threw gas on the fire right there.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But I
once
know
they figured out what it was actually going to cost to do it to what they're going to do, it was first one they canceled was the Woodwine. Then next thing you know, they canceled the other one, so they're both gone. I don't
Right.
know if the county
110 to
what
Commerce
kind
Street.
what kind of money that the county
I'm just
would have
wondering-
made off of them.
I'm just wondering, and I'm just learning a lot of this stuff. You get to the age. Friday, I'll be 49 years old. This is going to be the last.
Well,
year,
happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. Last year of my 50s.
Last show, you 48.
And, right, and I'm paying attention to other things than I used to.
Yeah.
You know, when you were a kid, you didn't give two
No, you
craps
didn't care
about
a
what's
rat's
going
butt
on.
about
Right.
nothing, and
Right.
Right,
just
and
where you're going to go hang out with your friends and stuff like that.
that's
But
right. But now,
as you get older, you become more enlightened to what's going on in
absolutely,
your community, and
and
you
that's
have to
where I
speak
am
up.
now.
Yeah.
And noticing, I have witnessed in the past few years, even when Locke was here, he had a deal with Twitsy Railroad to come in and project a run around Bull Mountain,
Really?
and that was declined by the people in power.
Really?
He also had a deal with the U.S. Army
yeah,
to come
Yeah, I know
in
about that one,
and test some explosives
Pigs.
on some pigs.
yeah.
And that deal got just washed away. It's not going to happen. And then I hear about this that the farms were
Solar farms.
solar farms were in the works, and now they're just gone.
Yeah.
And that seems to happen a lot in Patrick County. Is there a power at will that doesn't want development in the community?
I
or
don't know, but they're just like they had another company was going to come in and they give them $1.3 million and they just disappeared with the money.
Yeah. And
Oh.
They filed a lawsuit and won, but who they going to collect from?
who they're going to collect from.
Right.
And that was for like the hospital. In 2022, we were told that the hospital is going to reopen.
Yeah,
And I believe that was just an electoral gimmick for some reason. And then we find out later that, whoever owns it's in big legal
I
trouble.
don't even think they ever looked at the
or-
building, man.
Or, what the
yeah.
case may
Well,
be.
I think they about bought it upside unseen, but I like to be wrong. But
I think they did. I don't
once
think they
they
even
got
looked
down
at it.
here and started looking at it, they done a project one time and removed a lot of asbestos out of that building.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't do it all while they was in it.
Right.
I guess cost effectiveness and
Yeah.
feasibilities and all that hoo-ha stuff.
There was somebody
but
that worked for them that they rehired, and I think they fed them a lot of bull crap. And then, of course, we got people that are running for election, like Ren Williams at the time was running for our district. So I think they fed them a lot of bullshit, but I don't think everybody ever actually went in there and looked at
no,
the property because
yeah.
I had a lot of friends in that hospital that were like, oh my God, there's so much you need to do. I don't know how they're going to sell it or buy it for, whatever they were asking for it at the time. I think it was around $5 million or something to even get it started to going
yeah.
without even putting anything into it.
Well, I think that's might have been some of what the financial institution that had the note on that place.
Oh yeah, VAC or whatever it was.
No,
Virginia.
we're-
And that was a lot of money that
That's
was
a lot
put
of money.
into the building. They
Right.
done that first side. I think it was close to $5 million.
Yeah.
And of course, they didn't have enough to finish it. That's why some of it didn't
Right.
go looking.
It
like
looked
the
good
rest
there
of
for a
it.
while,
Yeah,
though.
well,
I mean,
it's a
Yeah.
brand new emergency room.
Right. We went
Beautiful
into the
room.
emergency room,
And that's all we needed is the emergency room.
Yes.
Yeah, but we need to. One. I don't know why one of these big hospitals, why somebody up there in the county offices that the powers may be at,
Yeah.
contacting
Novolot
these
or
hospitals and
Carillion.
see, hey, they just remodeled this emergency room. What do y'all think about coming up here and do a standalone? You know, they got one up in
Pack and go.
Roanoke.
Yeah, they do.
Was it Korean or whatever?
Yeah,
It has the one
Carillion.
over in the Tanglewood Mall.
Oh, they got tons
and,
of
you
stuff
know,
over there. It's some medical for children over there. Yeah, in
Well,
Tanglewood.
Galen, I don't know if you know this or not. Where did the proceeds go when they auctioned off the rooms and the supplies?
all the
and
beds and everything.
my mother-in-law Debbie Cottrell went over there and bought a whole room, and it was pennies on the dollar, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, all the stuff was practically brand new.
She won a whole room.
Yeah.
And there was cabinets and
The cabinets.
microwaves and
Really?
TVs and all.
Really?
Where did those proceeds go to? What was that, to the bank or to?
My understanding, it was for some of the tax money, because when you wrote your check, you wrote it to the treasurer of Patrick County.
Oh, okay.
So I
Patrick
think that
County,
went towards paying
Yeah.
the taxes
At the
they had.
time.
Yeah.
Because now I
'Cause-
think they owe around 59,000, 60,000 or something. It was reported. I don't know.
Between the town
Probably more
and
than
the
that.
county, it's probably over 100 now.
Oh, I bet easily.
But
Who's
yeah,
mowing it?
I saw someone
They,
mowed it. It
they
looked
had
good.
they got somebody coming there and mow it, because I think the town sent them a letter saying you're gonna either cut it or we're gonna cut it and we're gonna start billing you for it.
Right.
So you know,
So
that's,
somebody
most of the time
mowed it.
that's the way that usually works.
Well, I
is-
know last time you were on here, it was like a hayfield.
Oh, yeah,
I
we
mean,
was
you
trying
couldn't
to
even
advertise for a
almost
goat
couldn't
farm.
see. Yeah, we did. You couldn't almost see the place, and I was just like, "What?" And
Well,
they
my
actually
son
mowed it.
My son Benjamin was the one who brought it to my attention. We went to go play. He plays soccer, and he had a practice up there this week.
Rotary Field.
Monday, right? Rotary Field. And he was like, "Hey, look at that! Look at it! You know, it's all cleaned up over there."
Oh yeah, but now the fence around the emergency room's on the ground, so
Yeah,
Wow.
probably from one of the thunderstorms and stuff.
but
with
it's
the
sad.
winds, but
If you don't live in a house, it will disintegrate.
oh yeah. Well, when we went in there for the auction they had on everything, we went.
When
They had
was,
stuff
when
in the
was that?
mercy-
Y'all keep talking
Oh,
about the
God.
auction, but like
That was
when was
three-
that? Like a year after?
That's been about.
It closed
3
2017
It was-
when it closed.
Maybe more than
so
that.
it's
Maybe 5 years
It was
ago. You
yeah,
know how
So
time
right-
flies.
right after-
before the pandemic.
Right
Yeah.
after it closed, so probably 2018, somewhere around there. You'd think
2018,
2019, before the pandemic.
right before the
Yeah.
Okay,
COVID. Yeah.
Sorry.
But they advertised it, and you can come in and walk through and see what was there on a certain day. And we went in and looked at everything, went through the operating room, it's sort of like I remember it, and
yeah.
went over to the old emergency room downstairs, and oh my God, it's started falling in.
Really?
When you have a flat roof and you don't maintain it,
Oh.
it don't take long for that water to find a place
Right.
to go. And a lot of the ceiling in one of the corners over there was falling in.
Really?
And,
So what
you
you'd
know,
say on the back side of it when you first went in, I mean, if you go up Woodland Drive, you take a right to the emergency room.
Yeah.
You go up the over the overhang right there. It says emergency room.
Yeah.
You go in, you're talking about that flat roof to where that's
Yeah,
some of
over
those
where
places.
the rooms were at, where
Right.
we put the patients.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, it's hard.
Really?
It was hard. It's no telling what it looks like now.
Hmm.
And it's like I've told some people, said the best thing to do is go and keep the lab where the lab was at
Yeah.
and the X-ray, and cut the building off on the back
Mm.
and leave the original footprint of that hospital and start over.
Start over.
That way, most of the asbestos is down in the machine room. All that can get redone and tore out
Right.
and fixed. But something like that, people might want to donate to help get it back going. And this
Yeah.
time, whoever donates over $500 will get a stock certificate that hospital cannot be sold until everybody agrees.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Because
totally agree with
I
that.
think
pretty
that's
much-
that's a hesitation on a lot of people in the community.
they've done it before.
They've already paid for that
Yeah,
hospital
My
before.
parents paid, between
Yeah.
the two of them, they paid $1,000.
Right.
And I don't know how they had the right to sell it when they did it the first time.
See, that's the only information I don't have. I have, where it was at the very beginning, it was the hospital, Stuart Hospital. And then they started this $300 campaign where taxpayers could get into it. I guess it was 1960, 1959. They built the hospital, and it flourished for, I guess you were the first baby born there, and then all the way up until, what was it? Only information I have after that is it became Pioneer in 2006, 2009. God, I can't even remember.
Nine probably sounds better.
Yeah, I think 2009 somewhere. But I mean, how does somebody have the hospital after all these people have put into it, to where in 2009 they can sell it without anybody knowing?
And with zero interest.
Zero.
I mean,
No
if your family
information
put
of
in
nothing.
right, if your family put in
Right.
$1,000 back in 1950,
That was a lot of
Hey,
money.
that was a lot of money
That's a
back there,
lot of money.
and there should have been interest
Right.
In
to
that
that,
building,
right, in
yes.
that
Right.
building.
Yes.
So at maximum, 1961 to 2000, just say 2009. That's a lot of years, man.
Oh yeah.
And
You
then
telling
nobody,
me? I
and
know
then we're
every
just,
one of
it's
them.
just right. Yeah.
I was told about them.
But then it's just sold to Pioneer, this company out of Mississippi.
Pioneer coming in, used to be people made big donations, and their names were on doors throughout the building. I don't know where all them plaques went. We do know that the big book that was in the front door as you come in is
To a
on the
secure
wall.
place.
It's on the wall at the county administration building.
Okay, I was wondering because Crystal Harris, last time I heard anything about it, Crystal Harris said it's in a secure place. And I was
Well,
like,
it
"Where is
was then, but they have mounted
They have
it
mounted
in
it
the
in
county
the
administration
Veterans
building.
Memorial Building.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Well, I was wondering where that was. I wanted to get some pictures
So
of
if
that.
you really want to know who all donated, it's right there in the book.
Right, I gotta go up there and get some pictures and
Yeah,
definitely
you'll
share
see.
that. But I'm just wondering where, if they bought it in 1960, 61 thereabouts, everybody was contributing. It was even taken out of some people's paychecks.
Oh yeah, I think that's the way they did Mom and Dad is they took a little bit out each week, so
Right.
it wasn't a big
Well, a little
bite
bit adds
because-
up to a lot.
But like I said, either way you go, that was a lot of money.
Yeah, Democrats are mostly like, oh, it's just $5, and then $5 every week adds up to.
Well, that's
You're
just how
buying
the
Starbucks itself.
That's how the investment is. If you're giving money to them, then when that's sold, it should be given back to you, and then interest, and then compound interest for the years that have passed.
Oh yeah,
Or at least have some name into it to where if it's decided to be sold, you should have as a shareholder, like whether I want to give or not, or it's going to
yeah.
get sold or not.
So now-
I should have a vote.
Right.
you should have a say.
You should have a say. And I don't remember anybody
Nope.
having a say whatsoever about
The only
anything.
ones that did that was on I guess whatever the hospital board was back then.
And who?
And the
who
second of all, where'd the money go?
So I guess they weren't stockholders. That was mandatory donation.
Yeah.
That's
if you want a hospital, donate. So what you're saying now is, well, you were just hypothetically saying if there was another donation.
Yeah.
They're not doing a donation.
No, they ain't doing that.
Okay,
That's just my head
That's
rattling
hypothetical.
around because I got nothing else to do sometimes.
Right. I don't think it would happen again with the history of it.
No.
a donation.
It'd be a hard time for me. I'd have to see
donation,
paperwork and
right.
sign and everything.
Well, you got to remember the dynamics of our county has changed a lot.
Oh God, yeah.
You go to town now, you used to know everybody. You go like,
Yeah.
who in the world is that?
Right.
That's
Right.
right.
Because back then, it's sort of like Mayberry. We all knew each
Knew
other.
each other. Yeah.
And looked out for each other and everything else.
Right.
Something happened, everybody come together and help them out. And they still do that quite a bit,
But not like they should. I think this has took away from the need for socialness.
Yes, social media is the death.
Right. The death of a lot
Social.
of things.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot
The
of
death
things.
social.
We don't go to racetracks anymore. These local racetracks are empty.
Yeah.
Where you get off work back in the day, you wanted to go somewhere and talk to people and
Yeah.
get
You
a
don't-
break from work. And now that we just sit on the phone, we sit at the house, we sit on the
See,
internet.
well, it's like when we grew up, we had 3 channels
Right.
and the TV went off at midnight.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
If that was
Right.
to happen now, people's heads would explode.
Right. Right.
They got to see what's on that TV.
Right. Yeah, it went off right after the news. a lot of times.
Well, they had
But
to
I know what
use-
you're talking
had to
about. Then
use
after
an
that,
11,
then
and
had
it went to
Then they had
12,
that-
and then they played
Johnny
national
Carson.
National
and
anthem.
shit.
I
Yeah,
remember
national
watching
anthem.
the national anthem.
See the
and
flag
waving, and
flag, and
That
the
was
next thing you
it.
know, you see snow
Right.
until the next morning about 6 o'clock.
And they got
so
two.
that desire of socialness is gone. That
Yeah.
desire of
Well, it used to be that
meeting
you,
up at the state fair or the county fair, or
Yeah.
meeting up over here. That was what you did. And
family
Yeah.
reunion.
family reunions.
Well, that's like I was going to say, when we used to go out and hang out in town, we'd all meet and then figure out what we was going to do and go somewhere. When the phone come about,
Disappeared.
disappeared.
All right.
You go to town like, where is everybody?
Right.
They're on the phone doing whatever, telling them where to go, and like,
Yeah. Too much connection or something.
oh yeah, and,
Not
well, that's-
physically either.
Well, that's the thing about it. You can run your mouth all you want to somebody on Facebook or something, but in the old days, you get punched in the nose
Yeah.
over that stuff because you were face to face.
Those keyboard warriors. Dan.
Keyboard warriors is one of my favorite. One of my
Yeah.
favorite ones. They like speaking their mind. I don't mind anybody speaking their mind, but if you I didn't come
Well,
from
there's-
I didn't come from a generation to where you speak your mind
Yeah.
without fallback from it, and he didn't either. And I know you didn't either. It's just you just can't put it out there and just let it be to where it's whatever I wanted to think.
Well, I think Facebook is so controlled
It is.
by
The
that
powers
monkey
that be.
bun is
Right.
out
It's all
California
about
way.
money.
Oh, yeah.
Advertising.
I just like they talk about the kids and stuff doing these TikTok challenges. I like, first of all, why does TikTok let that even go on their
Right.
page? Something
Money.
like that.
Money.
You're doing something that you can get killed doing.
Money. They don't care if somebody dies.
Well, they
When,
don't.
when that
Money.
when that
well, it's
platform
China anyway.
You
Right.
get more views if somebody's like flipping over in the car and dying. Everybody wants to see it.
yeah.
Oh,
Hell,
yeah.
who hasn't stopped for
That's-
somebody wrecking on 58 and going,
When that
Oh, it
platform
still
came
happens.
out, I enjoyed it. I was like, oh wow, we could see what other people are doing
Yeah.
and
creative
artists.
Then it went downhill.
And then it went down, and I've deleted it.
Yeah.
I have no use for
January
it now.
2023.
I'm just done with that. So we could talk about a whole bunch of negative stuff in Patrick County. Give me one thing positive before we head off to break. We're not close. I
well,
know that,
we're
but
getting ready to
just
go
want to
into
change
the
the atmosphere a
Yeah,
little bit. You know,
it's,
big event seasons in Patrick County now.
festivals and
Festivals.
And that's the
Fairs,
festival man right
yeah.
there.
Just all kinds of different things. The music association's getting cranked up pretty tight now, and got a bunch of things coming out. And won't be long. It'll be the Apple Dumpling Festival in downtown Stuart,
Right.
and that's usually a big draw. That and the Strawberry Festivals are really big draws into
Yeah.
the town.
Very
And
big draws.
of course, they
Great
got
music.
got the restaurant revamped downtown and open now, so that's going to help
Nice.
a little bit. And
Which one is that you talking about? Let's go ahead and
Tony's.
name them.
Tony's.
Okay, Tony's.
Tony's
Yeah,
Pizza.
okay, yeah.
So they
They've
got
been
they
liking a
got
lot
a
of our
grant.
posts.
They not Tony's himself. I want to make that clear, but that whole parking area, that downtown area, got a grant, I believe, to clean things up. Who was
Yeah.
out here with us?
Yeah, they got about $1
that?
million grant, and then there was
Well,
another one that was
I think
quite
they're
up
going
there.
to use some of it on the parking lot. What I've seen yesterday.
They're
That's
digging
good.
it up a little bit, getting a fresher parking lot.
Well, we got that creek. It runs under everything.
Right down the building, right through the creek, right there. Yeah.
Dry bridge.
Yes.
Well,
But it ain't dry.
years back they had a section over near the road that collapsed.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday I was there and I noticed they had a cone sticking in the middle of the driveway going through the place, and it looked like it had a little sag to it.
Oh.
So,
You been looking at
Back-
saggy cones?
back in the day they used railroad tracks to do that stuff, but with as much flooding that we get here lately and everything, it don't take long for it to
Yeah.
mess stuff up.
Right.
You want to talk about?
I hope it ain't what's going to happen, because that could be a big mess right here before everything happens in downtown.
On our second half of this show, I'm going to show some pictures of my mother. My mother lives in Connecticut. This last weekend, they had
yeah,
the
they've had
biggest
some-
floods you've ever seen. It has tore up the whole road. It's tore up the lake, and that's my backyard. That's where I
Saw
grew
that
up at.
bridge she was talking about. There's
Yeah.
nobody going across that thing.
Yeah, they've had some just tremendous flooding. They hadn't had flooding like that since the 50s, and there's some damage. But
So what are you talking about? I'm kind of lost on the cone thing. Is it
It's a traffic cone.
It's
you know,
in the parking lot of Tony's,
It's in the parking lot.
where Beasley's and everything used to be, or
It's in
downtown?
right there in front of where Bingles.
Bengals.
Well,
I'm
that's
sorry,
where
yeah.
the, that's
Beasley's
where
is
the
up
that's
the
where
road.
the creek
sorry.
meets the
That's where the creek
Mayo.
goes. The creek goes under the road.
Under
there,
the road
and
to Mayo River.
Yeah.
they've had to fix a section of it before, and looked like looked like it had just a little sag
Sinking
to
up
it. So
on
I don't know if it's something going on. Or,
So who owns
I hadn't been able to-
Tony's Pizza now?
You asked me now. I can't think of his name.
Right.
That's okay.
I have no clue.
I think
either.
it's two of them, and they're from up New York.
Okay.
One of them definitely is. I know him, and
Nobody from around Patrick County, which don't matter. But
I don't
still.
know. I don't know about the other guy, but it's. They have good plans for the place. I've went
Oh, it's
there
beautiful inside.
multiple times when they were redoing it and everything.
Right. I have.
You're talking about a place clean as a pin now.
Yeah,
That
it's
place
beautiful
is
inside.
clean as
It's
a
totally
pin.
different. I haven't went in there myself, but I have a friend of mine that went in there and he was taking pictures. He's like, Daniel, I just wanted to show you how beautiful this place was. And I mean, they've really changed it.
Well,
Where I didn't even realize it was Tony's. I thought it was, something in Greensboro or Winston.
Yeah,
it's kind of
they've
cool.
They re-sheet rocked a lot of stuff. They took the old the foot square panels
Tiles
up
and
in
shit,
tiles in the
panels.
ceiling. They
Right.
put sheetrock there.
Wow.
And they took the wall, a portion of it out there at the front that was over to where Verizon used to be.
Okay.
And from my understanding, down the road here in the near future, they are going to have like a beer tap room.
Really?
I don't know nothing about
Really?
beer.
And some little table. I don't know if they're going to put a pool table in it. I don't know all the stuff. I hadn't talked to
Yeah.
them lately, but if they can do that, and that would draw people in because
Yeah.
everybody's into these different beers
different.
now, these craft beers.
Well, I just noticed, I
and-
think it was Facebook either yesterday or today, that there's a Blue Ridge Tap House or something coming to
Yeah,
Stuart.
it's going in where the other little restaurant was there beside the Honey Pot.
I don't know the Honey Pot. What are we
It was
talking about?
it was the bistro.
Bistro.
Yeah.
Bistro.
Is it on uptown?
It's on Main Street,
Uptown
right
there.
across
Uptown.
from
Yeah.
across from the Mexican restaurant.
Okay, there we go. Hey, that's all you got to say.
Well, and it's right above that's where the Honey
Right.
Pot's at,
Right, okay, cool.
and they do flower. They bought Maryland out, and they do the flowers there. And it's,
Oh.
The Honey Pot's got a commercial here at
and I'm-
BTW
yeah,
29.
Oh, really?
And I'm surprised you ain't been in there. It's a
I apologize. Yeah, we go out of town. I would love to come up there to Stuart, but I don't know. There's,
He's
we just. I am scatterbrained. But, we've always. I was born and raised. You could say Kreitz, but it was the other side of Kreitz. Then there's county line. So I was born and raised in Collinsville.
Yeah.
And I've always made my way over this way. And now I live in Spencer, so Martinsville's that. I want to
Yeah.
support local. I go up there and support local, but it's not a lot of at the time it wasn't a lot for the kids to do.
Oh.
But they've redone Patrick Springs Park. They've redone a little bit of Stewart, DeHart Park. And so when you're doing stuff like that with the kids, hey, let's run over here and get us
rail
ice
trail.
cream or something to
Yeah.
eat, something like
well,
that.
that's like Licking Literature comes up there on Tuesdays, which they'll be up there tonight.
They go to Tractor Supply.
Yeah,
Cool.
and that they always have a big crowd for that. So
Right. I
and,
want to support them all, man, but it's just sometimes you just got to kind of. It's just like
well, sometimes you like to see something different, and
You
you have to
would.
go out of town to
Right,
see something different.
right.
So it sort of is what it is.
it's only
and-
so many damn times you can eat at Wendy's and Hardee's.
Well, and that's the only two choices we got. We don't have no Arby's or nothing like
Nothing,
that.
nothing.
We do have a Subway.
But yeah, so
is
try to,
good.
and they closes at 7 or something.
Oh,
but we're
well,
trying to
that's what
support
happens.
local.
Well, that's what happens
Everything
when
closes
you become
up.
a retirement community like we
Right.
have. The population is a lot older, and
It is.
that's one thing about not having a hospital is you're dealing with an older population, and due to the fact we don't have a hospital, we have lost people.
Lost a lot of people.
I mean, you work them just like you would in the emergency room, but out there in the field. But it's a
Right.
big difference being in a hospital and them do it, and you're helping them.
It is.
And
Major difference.
oh yeah, so
Right.
it's just it's sad.
It is what it is.
I don't know how.
But I love Patrick County.
I don't know
mean,
how
oh my
Floyd
God.
County has done it all these years not having a hospital.
Well, I think their tourism. We'll talk about more of that. We got to come back.
gotta take a break.
Yeah, we got to take
You
a break
deserve
and we'll
a
come
break
back. Yeah, but
today,
I do
Daniels.
think that
I think I think Roanoke helps Floyd.
Roanoke
Yeah,
helped.
they go
Roanoke,
221 is really a quick shot down Bent
right.
Mountain into Roanoke.
it has, and then there's been a lot of good tourism direction up there in Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
They put money not in cabooses, but they put money in the people. So
Well, they
We'll be
do,
right
they
back.
do some of that. But
Right.
Yeah.
We'll be right
All
back.
right.
If you get a chance, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it.
And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on the Be Real Podcast. As you just heard, if you'll hit that little subscribe button down there at the bottom, if you're watching us on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it.
Send it to a friend on Facebook.
Send it to a friend and ask them if they'd subscribe
What
too.
harm does that do?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got
We're
several people watching.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Stuff.
man.
I've
Thank
told
you.
my sisters, and
Yeah.
they definitely watch on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I need to tell my brother, and they up in
Well, I
Blacksburg, Christiansburg area, and Bradford, and
They'll love
Man,
it.
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate
get
it, man.
that stuff out everywhere. Let
Yeah.
everybody know what's going on.
Right,
They
right.
all got, my sister and my brother both got class reunions this weekend.
Right. And I know it lasts an hour. We do an hour, and I mean that's a little bit much, but it's YouTube. You can come back to it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can listen
You
to
put it on pause
20
and go to
minutes.
something else and look, and then come back and see what's up.
Right. If you're traveling somewhere, we'll get you somewhere. So if you're listening to us right now, thank you. And if you're traveling somewhere, you're 40 minutes, 35 minutes into it. So
Oh, yeah.
man,
Oh, y'all
thank
got
you.
Y'all got a lot of listeners up in Patrick County, because
I'm
I was
grateful.
up there at Hal's one day, and this girl said, "Oh, I seen you on the podcast. I sure did enjoy it."
I
I'm like,
appreciate
"Well,
her.
Good. I said,
Yeah.
I got fans.
Whoever she is,
Yeah.
I appreciate you a whole lot.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
We love you.
So you don't have to watch it. You can listen to it.
You can listen
That's
to
the
it. That's the
podcast.
whole thing about
That's
a
the whole thing.
podcast is
Oh, yeah.
you're
Like
listening.
if you're a truck driver and you're going down the road, you can pull it up on the thing while
Right.
you're parked, and you can listen to it driving down the road.
Yep. Been to Henry County, been to Patrick County, all these local folks. We greatly appreciate everybody taking their time to come out here. We got a good lineup coming up. We got of course, Mr. Galen Gilbert, and then of course also this Thursday we got a band. And so yeah, it's gonna be a double feature coming up here
Oh, this
tonight.
weekend. This week.
Right now.
Well, right now.
Tonight.
Live. Coming to you live from BTW 21.
BTW 21. Thursday, August 22nd.
Well, no.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey,
Yeah, it is.
hey,
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
It's my birthday tomorrow.
Yeah, your birthday. Yeah.
That's
Happy
tomorrow.
birthday to you.
Not to me. That's my mother. She did the work. I didn't do anything. I
Happy
just-
birthday to
Right?
you. Happy birthday, old bastard.
That just
I
mean
mean,
you was-
Chad, sorry. Happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you.
That just makes you a pain in the
Great
butt.
fella.
Yeah. That I am.
Thereabouts.
I'm about there. But like I said, that was all my mom's work. That I had nothing to
40
do with it.
freaking 9, man.
49.
Getting ready to run out of the 40. Guess what? Check engine light comes on at 40. At 50,
No, brother, it already
50,
came on.
You got to start fixing
I didn't.
stuff.
I didn't change the oil. I didn't. The maintenance was low.
maintenance. The
just-
maintenance was low.
Well, when you turn 50, it starts catching up to you, and 60 is
Well, if you got 8
been an
kids,
adventures.
if you got 8 kids and you got a and
Well,
you
you
got
got
a
somebody
great
to take care of you.
you
when
got
you
a
get older
great
and decrepit.
wife, she's already been changing your
Right. She changed the oil. She could change my diapers in a few years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Please, Katie, please.
Chad soiled himself. Oh,
He
shit.
did it again.
Next thing you know, it'll be in the nursing home.
Yeah. Next
that's
thing you
right.
know, she's Jill Biden.
That's right.
So anyway, a little bit more. You got some advertising you want to throw out there? You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
got
well,
some
there's some-
events coming
some
up
of
in
the-
Patrick County.
Yeah, some of the events coming up.
Yeah.
I'll start out with the first one. It's going to be not this weekend, but next weekend, the Front Porch Fest
Okay.
over at Spirit Haven Farm, the 29th through September 1st. They have a lot of different bands and stuff there.
That's right before the Patrick County Fair,
Yeah.
August 29th through the September 1st. So that
Yeah.
is the
Well,
weekend after next.
I'm
Well,
going
after
to
this
a
next
festival
weekend.
down here in North Carolina this weekend and come back, and then there's Front Porch Fest.
Now
and-
this says Front Porch Fest 15. Is this the 15th?
Yep, the 15th.
annual?
Wow, 15th year.
That's
Yeah.
great.
God, I remember when they started. Good
It's-
gravy.
It was born from a going away party at Chris Pruding's house.
Really?
They were him and his girlfriend at the time were going to college, and it was a going away party, and it just developed into a festival.
Well, they got a ton of people over there. So you got a
all
whole.
kinds of people coming over.
Yeah, we need to put
These right. We'll put this on the air. We'll do
put
something.
it up
Can we
right
hold
now. I'll throw it up here right
it?
now.
Which one is that?
Well,
This one over here.
yeah. You ain't got to zoom.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you can, but I'll do it
Where are
during
you?
editing.
We'll put it in there. We'll put it up front. It's
Yeah.
the 15th annual. That's something else.
Yeah, they got to have theirs.
And these are
when-
all bands that are coming.
Thank you, Grace.
There's 30 bands coming right
Oh
there.
yeah,
or something.
and
Big Daddy Love.
the first is a lot of the local people talent and stuff, which is really good. And
That's what I support.
Now
Local
that's something. I mean, I know. Hold on. I'm sorry. That's something we left out. I was getting ready to say on the first half of the show was if we didn't put all this money into a love sign near on D Hart Park near the library, if we didn't put all this $22,000 near for a
Is that how much
caboose,
it costs? Oh,
$22,000 for a caboose, $36,000 for a love sign. If we didn't put all that money and we actually put that money back in the community, which any of these bands, to play 5 times on Main Street during the summer
Yeah.
or fall or whatever, and not just 5 times. I mean, that's a ton of money. Say you got $500 a gig. If you got $36,000 love sign, what's 36,000 divided by 500?
oh yeah,
I mean, it would be you could have 3 or 4 bands a weekend
oh yeah.
on Main Street, not
Well,
only supporting the Main Street businesses, but also drawing the crowds out to where they come out to the businesses.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to going to have a drink, going to get something to eat, going to go
Well,
do this, go do that.
The Star Theater in downtown is really drawing in a lot of bands. and
Okay,
stuff.
One Family Productions
One
is taking
Family
that
Productions
over. Yeah,
has the.
I
lease
messaged
on
them. I ain't heard nothing out of them, but so it's okay.
But they have a lot of good music and stuff there, and they had a magic show the other day, and it's just
Oh yeah, that was a free magic show.
it's just a lot of things going on there.
It is.
You know, somebody says, "Well, why can't we be like Floyd?" Well, Floyd up there, you're on top of the mountain. A lot of stuff is flat.
Right.
When you come to Main Street, Stuart, it's a hill.
Well,
So if you get drunk
even
and
though it
fall
might-
down in the street uptown, you'll be downtown.
even though Floyd is kind of flat, well, it is compared to Stuart. I mean, you still got a lot of opportunities. We have the downtown Stuart. I mean, and everybody can bitch. Every time I put something in Patrick County News, people are like, "Well, won't you do
I didn't
and
hear
put
that.
that on there? Yeah, they will do." It's kind of like Joe Biden shit. I don't even listen to it. But anyway, you know, I think we got a good tourism director in there now. I think he's trying. I see a lot of good stuff coming out of the Star Theater. Very positive stuff, and I'll be very positive about it. I mean, I am negative about a lot of stuff, and I apologize. That's what you got to do sometimes. Well, I don't think you have to do it, but it's my damn right, so I'm going to. But if you're local and you want to see a lot more tourism come in, you got to promote what you have for tourism.
Yes.
That includes Lover's Leap, which I have never seen in any kind of tourism. Have you seen maybe one time?
Well, there's no money in the view. So unless you're going to charge people to
But the view will bring you by if
Yeah.
you're going down, and
Well, with the new road,
If you're going
it's going to
down.
be off to the side a little bit.
it will
It
be
is.
off the side. But
But
then-
they've removed that. There was a discussion the other day up on Facebook about
right,
them tearing down the wall, and some of them thought it was the wall where you stand at to overlook. But
oh
it's
yeah,
the big wall that
Actually,
was behind it.
yeah,
that-
they're cream.
All
That's
these-
gone. That's almost gone.
Almost.
I mean,
It's-
that's
it's-
almost
leveled.
gone.
Oh yeah, they're turning that into gravel for the road.
Right. Ain't that crazy? That's
But-
pure rock.
That's saving
But it
money.
is what it is.
saves money, so that's
But
a
what
good
a
thing.
beautiful view that is. Fred Stevens Park.
Oh yeah, you go all the way up on the
D
top.
Hart Park. They do promote a little bit of D Hart Park, but then you have, and I go back to these the love sign and the real
Well-
caboose. Hopefully we've made it past that, but I would just say
Oh yeah, they've got it where it stays red now.
we have so much.
That was a big issue for some years, huh?
Well, it
Right.
turned pink.
All right.
It did. Well, back in 2006, I started at WEO and, WHEO before we even had any of this. And it was just like, why aren't we, the people that would come out, the local talent that we had coming up there to WHEO, I was like, oh my gosh, people would come out. You take that parking lot right there, what is it, front of Ren Williams Place, or right there at the what is now the new school board office.
Yeah.
That parking lot right there, just to have the bands playing and people come through, and not everybody's going to stop, but there's going to be a lot of people that do stop.
Oh yeah.
And then you got Dominion Valley Park. They'll come to it.
yeah, they're
you
getting
know
ready,
they
They're
will.
getting ready to have a Labor Day show.
Yeah, and then downtown Stuart got the farmers market. Now they got this little amphitheater going on. I mean, it's just how come it took them this long?
the
Here we
farmers-
are in 2024 when this back in 2006 would have been, I don't know, whatever.
they're
Everybody can
getting ready
bitch
to
about the past, but let's
change
just
the
move for the
farmers.
future.
They're going to change
Future.
the farmers market.
Yeah,
They get ready to finally put a roof over the stage area
really.
because
That's
they've
good.
always been putting canopies up and stuff for the bands to play under. And if they go ahead and put a fixed roof over top of it, it will be, from my understanding, probably the same type of wood design as the farmers market is.
Right.
And that'd be giving them more room for the farmers market when on Fridays and everything like that.
And then the jam that
And
night
they
or
have
whatever.
the first Fridays. I think they've finished this year's up already. Because, they've got the front porch fest.
Well, one thing that's really
It's
impressed
time,
me is
yeah.
one family. That's one thing I really want to talk to you about is One Family Productions, because they took over the Stuart Parade. You were in charge of the Stuart Parade through the Patrick County JCs for
Yes.
years,
yeah.
and now it's through Patrick County Family, One Family
Yeah.
Productions.
And that's just like
And it's
we
been
always,
great.
We've
It's
always
really
had
good.
a thing. And everybody says, "Oh, the Stuart Parade." Said, "No, this is Patrick County's parade."
It is not
we
Stuart.
we pull people from all parts of the county
Yeah,
to come there to be in the parade.
every
and
rescue squad in the county,
rescues and fires and
Bus-
cheerleaders,
businesses and-
you know, some of the
cheerleaders,
churches,
baseball teams.
a little bit of everything. So
Right.
yeah, we
When was your last year of that?
oh
Sorry,
Lordy, it's been
like 2015 or something. It's not
It's-
been that damn long.
about 17, I think, somewhere in that area.
2017.
Yeah, somewhere in that
around there.
area.
Yeah, I don't scare you. Say
But I
it's-
still
it's not
help them
been-
a little bit and stuff. And
You do.
know,
I've seen you. Always got to call you out.
even if
I've
I'm
seen you
just
riding
holding
that
there, a
four-wheeler.
sign says "Go slow," because don't run over us. So
But they've done a really
but
good
every little
job.
bit helps. They've got
Yeah,
a lot. They have the manpower that
They
I
do.
didn't have.
so I'm
but
thankful.
they helped in the earlier years. Chris, helped because he was a JC and his
Right.
mom was
You talking
a
about Chris
JC.
Pruden?
Yeah, Chris
Yeah,
Pruden
yeah.
and Anita Pruden. They were both JCs.
Yeah,
and
thank
stuff.
y'all.
And, then when the chapter finally folded, I determined it was time to do something with it.
Right.
And I wasn't going to give it to Town of Stuart. Got one family, they helped me that last year, and I said, well, why don't we just let y'all have it
Right.
and let y'all take care of it and everything, and they've been wide open ever since.
About 7
And
years they've been doing really good.
They've got the extra help to do all the intersections that need to be done, and
Yeah, I'm thankful
it's
for them.
it's good.
That's a parade. I mean, it really is it's a great parade. It really
sometimes
is.
you
It's
can
good
have
stuff.
anywhere from 110. That one year we had so many that kept on coming in that day because we never refused anybody coming in the day of.
Mm-hmm.
We have spots in the back for you in front of the horses. So,
Yeah.
but I
Because
think
everybody knows.
we had about 100.
Everybody knows people in Patrick County are right on time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's never a delay or last minute.
Well, that's just like
a whole bunch of Baptists.
nobody really does anything, and they still believe in Thanksgiving first.
Yeah.
Get that done, and then that weekend afterwards, that's when people start filling out the forms and sending it in, or people call, is it too late? I'm like, nope, it's never too late.
It's never too late. Hop on in there.
Give me your name.
But
I'll
again,
put your spot
shout out to
down,
One Family Productions, because not only did they take over the parade, and you were the guy, you were the main man over the parade for years. I mean,
I've done
years.
Chairman for
Almost forgot about
27
that.
years, and worked with him about 3 or 4 more. So I've been doing over 30 years.
Yeah, so he knows what he's talking about. And then they took over the Star Theater. I was very thankful for that too, because that's something that I think Tom Beasley got going back. Him and his wife, very great people. They built it back up, got it looking good, renovated it.
They gutted it and then put
You
it back to
gutted it.
original.
Oh man, it's beautiful. I love it. I go
And
in there and
there's,
I'm like, man, it's amazing. So
The Beasley's old store is now up for rent.
really,
Yep, I seen that.
that's
on-
right up above it.
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 businesses.
Got new windows and everything, new casings. I mean, it really looks good.
That's good. So I'm hoping we can.
So hopefully maybe we
Positively.
can draw something into that,
Right.
and every little bit helps.
Every little bit helps. You got another one there we're going to talk
All
about
right,
there?
well,
What
the
is
next
it?
one, it will be Hal's Grocery and Restaurant there at Route 8 and 58.
Celebrating
There-
what, 150 years? Or
100 years.
100 years.
Yep, celebrating 100
I
years.
thought he was older than that.
They were going. They were going to do
I'm
it
just picking.
earlier, but it rained them out.
Right, yeah, I remember that.
So they
yeah.
have got it rescheduled.
Well, I think you got a good time now. What is it?
September 7th.
Right before the fair.
Music starts at noon and runs to about 6:30. They've got quite a few bands there.
Yeah, if you don't know where
And-
this at, if you just travel up 58 from Martinsville,
Just
it's
keep
where,
going 58. You
Yeah,
can't miss it.
keep
Where's-
on. You won't miss it.
And
but-
they have a cheeseburger over there, Husky Burger.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, they
my
got-
Lord.
But the day of this event, all they're going to be fixing is hot dogs, because they got hot dog, chips, and the dessert for $1.
for $1. Going back to the
$1.
old time fees.
And then they got the old timey bottled drinks.
Yeah.
They're gonna have those for $1.
Let me-
Candy
can
bars
I
for
have that
$1.
one too?
I'm gonna leave this here with y'all,
thank you.
and it's got like
I'll put it right there with
Country
us while we're
Boys and
talking.
Michael Ray Fain and Jason Harris and the Sawmill Bunch. It's some good. Don't touch your
Oh,
snake.
yeah.
Don't touch that snake.
Man,
You'll
Jason
get hurt.
Harrison. Man, I ain't heard Jason Harrison forever. And the Country Boys, I love them too. All of them are really
Hot
good.
dog
All of
chips
them.
and a dessert for $1.
For $1.
Jeanette Williams. Yeah.
So they're
Thank y'all.
fixing. All they're fixing that day is hot dogs.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be so.
But if it's
chaotic.
not if it's not September the 7th and you drive by, stop in and get you a Husky Burger. That,
they got
that
some-
thing is
they
just
got
Anytime.
amazing.
Just make sure you get there.
You can
on
do that this weekend.
Saturday. You get there before 3. They close the kitchen at 3 on Saturday.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's and now they're still pumping gas, right? You,
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
pull up
they'll-
there,
Pull up.
They will pump your gas.
Pump
and if
your
you
gas
want them
for
to,
you.
they will check your oil.
imagine that.
Something that
Like they used
none
to
of
do.
the stations do anymore.
Right.
But they will still do that.
Yeah.
That's
Still
great.
pump you gas.
And then
Great folks right there.
we got another event coming up. Is the Songwriters Circle Part 2, part of the Patrick County Music Association. It's going to be at the Historic Star Theater.
Really?
And
So just to let everybody know, Patrick County Music Association, they put on a performance at the Rotary Field once a month for free.
yeah,
Every
except
month.
during the summer months where it's so hot.
Summer months, right.
But
And
there's
I
your-
think, and here I go again, I'm going to be the bitcher, and I'll be fine with that. But I think putting money into that instead of a damn caboose or a 36,000 love sign.
He riding that caboose.
I know. Man, that caboose burn. Every time I walk, I don't walk. There's some people who walk by it, maybe 4 out of the 17,000 that live there. But when I drive by there, that caboose burns me up.
I know it
No,
does.
yours
I
stays-
know
yours
it. I
stays
know it
red.
burns you up.
I know it shouldn't.
but I am a fan of it.
Well, the thing about
and
it,
the reason
Stuart
I'm a-
paid for most of it.
The reason I'm a fan of it is because Stuart paid for most of it, and 2, it's a part of history that is no longer there,
Yeah, it's part of the Dick and Willie that came there, and it was a
and that is true history.
turn
and-
wheel there next
so-
to where the cannery
so
is. The
to-
train come in there, they turn it around and send it back to this way.
Right. For me to dislike that caboose is for me to dislike a monument of
Part of the history.
part of Jeb Stewart.
Yeah.
So if we were to go in there and tear that down and say, hey, we have no use for that, that's the same thing as turning down a pillar of John's of all the other presidents or any other type of thing that we have. That's history. That's no longer there. And the thing I like about Daniel and I is we could disagree about anything
Yeah.
and still be friends.
Oh yeah.
And still ride on. And I think that is what the world is missing now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
It's just because we disagree on something, all of a sudden we're enemies.
Well,
all of a sudden it's this side and that side.
No, hell no.
That's
You
the
know,
way
and
the
it's just not the
politicians
case.
want us. They want us to be separated.
Divided.
They want
want
one
to
group over
be.
here, one group over there.
Right.
Right.
And both will be fighting at each other. But we need to become together as a nation.
Yes, sir.
And
Totally
straighten
agree.
this 535 up there at the Capitol out and tell them they working for us and quit getting fat off
That's right.
being in that position.
I think we
That is
kind
right.
of forget
and
the
put
workforce.
a limit to how many years they can serve.
Amen to that one.
And
Because
that-
they done the president that way
The Senate
way
needs to be
back
that way,
day
too.
of only having 8 years, so they don't have teetotal control of everything for a long time. And that's the same thing that needs to happen to the House and the Senate.
Right.
Right.
Give them a 12-year stint.
That's
gone.
it. Yeah.
It's the end of you.
Shoot, I wouldn't even say 12, but I guess that's good. You kind of takes a little bit more than 4 to make a difference.
Well, that's just like, I'm not
Right,
sure which
it
one.
does.
I think it's the Senate. They every 2 years they have to run for their seat, and
yeah.
that's sort of stupid. Why don't you do it like the others and
Get 4, 4,
get-
4, 4,
I think they
4.
get 6. And
6 would be fine.
And do 12. Do 2. You're able to run 2 terms,
Right.
and after that, you gone.
Right. So we got the Songwriters Circle Part 2
Yeah.
coming up September 14th, 6 o'clock, Historic Stour Theater, which is in downtown Stuart. Guys and gals performing local artists. Tickets are available at the Coffee Break and the Quilted Colors and PC Visitor Center.
Which is on Main Street beside
Yeah,
the
all
school
of them's
board
Main
office.
Street. Yeah, Coffee Break, Quilted Colors, and the PC Visitor Center, all located on Main Street. You'll know where you're at because it's leaning downward. Seating is limited. Get your tickets early. And it's
Yeah.
September 14th. That's coming up quick, too.
Oh yeah, it's like that's the same week of the fair.
Yeah, it is.
Because the
Yeah.
fair this year is
Right.
doing the
That's the 6
demolition
o'clock.
derby on the 7th.
Right.
And they've done that so in case it rains, they can move it to the day of the fair. But they're doing the demolition derby a week early, so
Okay.
they have more room for the people that comes for.
So do we have this jam and the Demolition
That-
Derby at the same time? Pretty much 7 o'clock, I think, is when the Demolition Derby
No,
starts.
this-
It starts
this-
at 6. I know.
This is the 14th,
14th. When's the
Demoli-
Demolition Derby?
7th.
7th. Oh,
The
okay. So
fair
it's
is-
following weekend.
Yeah, the fair is that following
That
week.
following week, and this is the end.
And-
Okay, cool.
Because that's
Yeah,
why they're doing
just
that.
wanna
I
make
think
So
it
you
was-
get you $1 hot dog and chips and dessert, and then go over watch the Demolition Derby
Oh yeah.
because that's
Right,
the same
at
day.
Howell's. Yeah, at Howell's.
Go to Howell's and then go watch the
100th
Demolition
anniversary.
Derby. That's
Go eat your
that's
hot
some
dogs and have
country.
some music, and
Right. 100-year anniversary.
That's some country right there.
then to top it off, there's other things that the
Please.
PCMA is doing, short for Patrick County Music Association.
Yes. That's the ones we was talking about doing the free.
During, I think it's in here, October the 26th, 20th anniversary of the Crooked Road.
That's nice.
And they've got several bands playing there. And then November 23rd, they have the Veterans Day show at the Rotary Field.
Nice.
And they have bands there. And then
Thankful.
on December 14th, they're having music. And it's the Hopkins Lumber Christmas show.
Okay. Cool. We got a lot of things going
here's-
on.
here's
Yeah.
that.
Thank you very much.
And like I
Yeah.
said, amidst all this, I think it's in October, they have the Apple Dumpling Festival. And
Yes.
there's a few other things that's going on. And, I just keep gathering and stuff like that
You
all
do.
I can.
And I appreciate you.
Info
We'll have you
is
back
info.
out here again. We're
Info
not
is
leaving
info.
you right now. I'm just letting you know.
No, you got
Yeah, I'm
band
not, I'm not shutting you out. I'm just letting you know that
We do have a band to
we
listen
do
to
thank you
later.
for coming out. But we do have a picture that was going to show last week. And for some reason it got misinterpreted, or we started talking to Chuck, or something happened. And so Chad has had this new baby back in April, the end of April, right? Was she in April?
Yeah.
Is this the
Yeah, the
last
end
one?
of
Or you
April.
got more coming?
This Iris.
This is the last one.
There she is.
Look at that. There she is.
Right. You had a great introduction
Iris
last week,
May.
and then the picture never
Well,
formulated.
It happens.
It was me. It was my fault.
But yeah, that is the last one. Katie,
And that's her today?
Katie
Or
went,
no,
yeah, that was just the other day.
just the other day.
Katie went and got spaded.
Did you get fixed?
fixed.
I didn't.
Oh,
You know,
You're
I
going to have to
didn't.
cut off that potentness.
It would have been a whole lot easier. I told him I had a pocket knife, but he didn't believe me.
I ain't.
All you need is a bag of peas afterward, and you're good to go.
I couldn't.
I haven't been to the doctor since 1986.
So don't you
So
think it
the-
might better be time to go?
So the first time I was going to go to the doctor was not like, hey, lift up my testicles and cut it. You know, like,
It ain't nothing like they always said. It's
Introduce
nothing but a
myself.
snip.
yeah.
yeah.
You're right.
But she had a
Doing
shirt. She had a shirt on her in that picture that said "Somebody in Monroe loves you," and that somebody's my mother.
I love it. There we go. There it is.
There, if you look at
That's
that,
Connecticut?
Monroe, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Oh, it says loves
I'm
me.
light as a bat.
And in Monroe, Connecticut, this past weekend, they had some flooding up there at my mama's. Lucky enough,
That was that
There it is.
Ernesto or
now,
what
luckily
happened with
enough,
that?
she lives up on the hill, and this is heading down 34 towards the lake.
So it's just water that just, I mean, it was storms.
They had some rain. They had over 10 inches in just a few hours, and you could see that.
We had some rain
Now
around.
that's a different spot. See, there's several inlets to the lake
Yeah.
up and down 34. So there were several spots that.
Can you zoom into that, Grace? Can you zoom into
I'm
a
not
picture?
sure she could zoom into
I just
that.
wanted to
I'm
see that,
sure-
that road right there getting ready to fall apart.
It doesn't
And
fell
it did
apart.
fall apart.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it fell apart. That road is.
No, it's okay. I mean, I was just
Yeah, you
thinking.
can tell part of it's missing.
Yeah, you
That-
can tell it's getting ready.
Sorta looks
It's gone
like-
with the wind.
It sort of looks like Dobbins looked after
It
the
does.
flood of '85.
Yeah.
So this did happen. I don't know what was that in 1955. It was actually on the same exact day.
And she's got a picture of
Same
that
exact day.
Waterbury.
I don't know.
Waterbury in 1955, where it flooded
Yeah.
downtown.
So Waterbury is
Waterbury, Connecticut?
is below below Monroe.
Well, there's some more
so
stuff.
That's a restaurant that just the wall just kind of
This reminds me of
soaked up in and washed up in.
was it 79 in Stuart when they had that down there at Narrowflex?
Oh, downtown, the
Yeah.
first flood, it was supposed to be the 100-year flood, and then
Yeah.
6 years later we had another one. Yeah,
Right.
that's when they
Look at that. Look at that.
There's a
Good
house.
Lord, man.
And
that's
that
terrible.
house on Facebook, you could watch that house go from standing completely up. This is mid-fall, and it just kind of dumps everything. If you watch the video, it dumps it all out that back right there. So you see all their personal belongings
Just float
just
away.
go zoop right out
Oh,
into
my
the.
Lord.
yeah.
It's terrible.
sort of like the house that was at the beach, you seen flopping.
And this is
away.
what I
There
was
we go.
talking about. This was a post there from 1955.
Yeah, Waterbury.
And they haven't had a flood like that since then.
Man, same day, though, is what you
But
telling me,
yeah,
I
that's
think.
what the same exact
August
day.
18th. Same
Same-
day that
same
all this
exact
other,
day
all
that
those
this
pictures
happened.
that you saw.
So it was pretty wild. I'm glad everybody's safe. There was a couple missing people. I'm not sure if they have found, but and I don't want to sound, my mother's safe, my family's safe. So
Just pray for the others.
just pray for the others
Right.
that were involved.
You don't ever know.
Sort of like they're right now out in the ocean somewhere, they are trying to find 6 missing people that were on a luxury sailing yacht
Oh,
that
yeah.
got hit by a water spout.
I saw a little bit
which
about
is
that.
a tornado, but it's on
Over the
the water.
water,
yeah.
So, yeah, they're having a time there, and one of them was some fellow that had been charged in the United States, and he was found not guilty, and sort of like they said he was the Bill Gates of the United Kingdom and stuff.
Well, it's up to God, It's
Well, it's all his will,
and I think I seen it. Is that where they were talking about if it capsized, there should be some air where they
well, they're
could
hoping
survive for a while?
They got divers going down to see if they can find him, but they have recovered one body so
Oh,
far.
really?
So.
Okay.
You just never
But they
know.
they've
You
saved
don't never know.
they
You
saved
never
a
know.
bunch of others. There's a bunch
Yeah.
that was saved. It was
Oh,
like
really?
22 of them on there.
Okay.
and
These
They saved about 12 or 15 or something like
Oh,
that. but
man.
There's
we're
still some
looking
missing.
at those pictures. We're looking at those pictures, and there were still shots. These people were coming home from work. They had no idea. They heard something on the news about some rain coming. but never in a million years would you think the road is just going to wash away. Or,
yeah.
you know, they also had downtown Waterbury, and where people were stuck in their cars or people were hanging on signs and waiting for fire trucks to. And that's one thing, you know, the ladder truck. When the ladder truck up in Stuart came about, I almost bitched about it because I was like, well, what the hell we need something that big for if we only have buildings, you know, 3 stories high or something.
Yeah.
And this flood here proved me wrong. They were stretching that thing out there
And picking 'em
across
up,
the water and picking people out of restaurants and picking people out of stores.
Well,
So it's not just up. That ladder also works
out.
to
Well,
stretch out.
that's so like, you
love
know,
it.
the Stuart had that, it's really not considered a ladder truck, it's a telesquirt. The one that has the 50-foot ladder on it. Well, back in the old days when the jail was uptown,
Telesquirt.
you could not
That's what they
get,
called me.
you couldn't get to the people.
Telesquirt.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. It just
they
hit me.
couldn't get to the top of the jail.
Yeah.
So unless they parked up against the building, so this gives them the distance to get away from it and
And reach out to it.
Yeah, reach out to it because, you know, back in the early days when there was a, believe it or not, a Chevrolet dealership on Main Street
Hey.
and it burnt. That's why you have a parking lot beside the Mexican restaurant now.
Oh.
And I mean, for a fire like that, you need a very big truck to get up and lob the water over into the fire.
Right.
Because, you know, the little one you could do so much, but
But you'd
with
have to
all
get
the-
close to the building,
you
and
gotta
now
get
the building's
close.
going to melt your truck.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
My grandmother's house, well, it's my mother's house now. She lives in it. Their attic caught on fire. I'm not sure what the start of the fire was. We'll get a little text message of,
Probably faulty wiring.
you know, but it was put out by the bucket brigade.
Yeah.
That house was built in 18 something.
Oh, yeah. You told me
And,
about
Well,
that.
that's the way they used to do it.
It was the bucket brigade that put out that fire, and you could walk up her stairs now and still see the charcoal rafters. that are up
Really?
there. It's
Wow.
awesome. It's an awesome thing.
Wow, man. But
But
Imagine
I
being
didn't-
put out on fire by a bucket brigade. Here, guys.
that's
That's
and
cool.
That's how
and
it's
they
done.
done it from the horse trough.
Yeah.
And
And it worked.
they had a pump. They keep pumping the horse trough full of water, and they keep bucking it out.
Yeah.
Right. Not
So
cool,
like that
but
commercial
thank
you'll see on TV, they're talking about the buckets, and then they hit it with a fire extinguisher.
you. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, I got the 2-minute warning about
you?
3 minutes ago. So I just want to say thank you, Galen, again, man.
Galen,
Always
yes, sir,
a pleasure, man.
Thank you very much.
Please, we got
I'll-
you.
I'll
I think
see
we
what
got
they
you.
do.
We'll
We got
figure
you
it
lined
out.
up again
We'll get you
sometime
lined
soon.
up.
Yeah, I can
We'll talk
see what
about
else I can.
Stuart and talk about
Good
Patrick
things
County.
that are happening in
Big
Patrick County
things.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
talk about them.
these festivals and the
You'll talk about them, and I'll bitch
Anniversary
about
and-
them. That's what it's all about.
And I'll find the middle somewhere. Right. We'll enjoy it.
We got all
only,
three.
only thing about the caboose, they should have turned it to the rail trail because that was actually the rail for the train.
Right.
He's up over a red caboose.
It'll be all right. You know, I'm cool.
The old
I'm
Dick and
good.
Willie's
I'm good
kind of
with
came
it.
down through there.
But you know, you can
It's
still
not going
follow.
anywhere
You can
now.
still follow that track.
Yeah.
It still comes
Yeah.
down here and it goes to Danville.
Yeah,
So,
it
you
went
know,
on. Right.
that
got
would-
some pictures
Down
of that.
through Kreitz, there's the road, the bed where the track set is still there. And one time we were down there riding 4-wheelers, and I say, well, what is world is this? I'm like, looks like a dam or something, but it was the bed for the
for
train
the tracks.
where they had built it up where
Really?
it stayed level.
Wow.
And then it pops out right there at Kreitz
Yeah.
and goes by where the post office was.
Oh wow.
And if you're at Walmart and you go around the side and you can see through the hill there,
Yeah.
that's where the train went.
Really.
The train came
That
behind
dip,
Walmart.
There's a dip right there at
the-
Walmart.
Came
yeah.
behind Walmart, and down there at the creek, there's still a bridge that J.P. Stevens or United Elastic, whatever they want to call it,
Yeah.
had a thing to cross because there's a real good fishing hole back there, and it will lead you by the sewer treatment plant. And when you go down there at the river below the sheriff's office, you know there's those concrete pillars in the river.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
part of the train.
Really.
bed. Yes.
Oh wow. Thank you, man.
I think it's
See,
a
this is
little
what I'm
history.
looking. This is what I'm looking for
I
right
think it's a
now.
little history. Hey,
Yes, I love
you
it.
all be real and
Thank you.
come on back.
Come on back.